I think that every kid in Pennsylvania, no matter who that kid is, what they look like, where they're from, what their circumstances are, they deserve the opportunity to have a great education, to learn and to be prepared for the challenges of society. My biggest fear is that so many kids aren't getting the shot to get a good education, and we see the results of it, of course, in society. I think that having access to a great education is probably the last civil right. It's probably the last barrier to America being everything that it possibly can be.
While it's no longer legal to segregate school systems, in effect, we have done just that, either by one's income, one's zip code, or an artificial line which is drawn by a school district.
I saw a statistic that alarmed me. It said that in the city of Philadelphia, out of 20 kids starting kindergarten today, only 2 will go to college. The other 18 not only won't go to college, but 11 out of those 18 won't even finish high school. And what happens to those people who don't succeed in the system, that don't finish high school, that drop out along the way? Well, too often they end up becoming the statistics that we read about. They end up becoming the kid that goes to prison.
There's nothing that you can't do when you're educated. There's almost nothing you can do if you're not. So learning opens up a child's mind. And when you're exposed to a whole variety of information that you might not normally have because you are confined to a poor area or to a zone that is exposed to drugs and crime on a regular basis, that's all you know, and that's what you trust.
There's a lot of things that happen when a child does not have the foundation of a quality education, and all of them are bad. They're limited in their ability to function in this country and in the world. There was a recent report in a local newspaper here that talked about 9 in 10 youngsters who are graduating from Philadelphia public school system don't qualify for military service. They would not be able to be picked.
The biggest problems in our education system now is we have a bureaucracy that's impervious to change. We have systems that every year open their doors to children every September, regardless of whether or not the end of June they were working or not, with the same people in place that are rehired or just walk in the door automatically, whether they were effective or not.
For me, I'm very concerned. You do need to support it financially, but that's not the fix. You actually have to be creative about your application, where the money's going, is it accounted for, and demand results.
You have hundreds of millions of dollars being spent politically to defend and preserve the status quo. The only way to break up that system, that bureaucracy, is to give parents and students more options, more choices, to divert themselves out of that system.
When I started to discover how much money we're spending on public education, almost 40% of our state budget currently, and I started to understand the consequence of what we weren't getting for that, and having children trapped in failing schools with no options, it really, really, really frustrated me. You don't fund failure. In Pennsylvania, we spend almost $23 billion. That's a lot of money. The fact that public school teachers, on average, on a great day, might get $70,000 in a classroom, which if you have 25 to 30 children, that classroom probably houses about $450,000. Where's the rest of the money going? We have the ability to educate our children at a world-class level, to be competitive globally, and I don't care where they live.
There are hundreds of proven different approaches that we have in our toolbox of education in this country that often never get to the child because we've been doing it the same way with the same cookie cutter mold.
We have to grow up and face the fact that wherever you are in this school choice issue, that you understand that children have to be given escape options when the school's not working.
What works in education is having the opportunity to make a choice that best meets the needs of a child. What makes a difference is having really high standards and a school culture that holds those students to the highest expectations.
Why am I so excited now? There seems to be a convergence between those who are no longer concerned about party affiliation, Democrat or Republican or ethnic background, black or white, or even rural or urban. And we've laid out a program that actually saves money and still delivers a quality education, and there's still revenue for those who choose to keep their kids in a traditional neighborhood school. Opportunity scholarships allow low-income kids in failing schools to gain access to quality education, while at the same time improve our traditional public schools. Here's how it works. Currently, a failing public school typically spends about $17,000 per student. Under the Opportunity Scholarship Program, a low-income child receives $9,000 scholarship voucher to attend a quality school of the parent's choice. Because the child only uses $9,000 of the $17,000 being spent, there is $8,000 left behind to benefit the children who remain at the public school. That money results in higher per pupil spending in the public school and can be used to create smaller class sizes. The result is that all kids get a better education, while at the same time, parents are given real choices. It is win-win all around if people can sort of get past, quote unquote, what change actually looks like to the reality of what the actual model looks like.
Everybody wins if public schools are great. We want to have the best public schools available to kids. We want to have the best charter schools available to kids, and also the best private schools available. But we want parents to have the opportunity to choose where they send their kids. Students First PAC will ultimately help lots of kids, I hope, all around the state.